I don't know, in some regard, I just can't, it seems unreal, you know, that
It's over.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, looks a little different from up here, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks right.
Oh, it's gorgeous. All right. We just departed Sullivan Field here, just outside Valmeyer, Illinois. I have got backseat Lynn Rippelmeyer. Lynn is really well known in the world of aviation as she was the first female FO, first officer, to pilot the 747, along with a number of other aircraft. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I'm the first woman to fly 747.
So you are the first to do a number of things, which I'll let you fill people in with. Why don't you just give us kind of a cliff notes of, your backstory and how you found, what you did in aviation, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, backing up, I'm the first to go from flight attendant to pilot, I think, for any person. So at TWA, I was on a leave of absence. I went to fly for Air Illinois, and in a Twin Otter, and was one of the, and we were the first all-female crew in any commercial scheduled airline.
Oh, right.
Her name was Emily, was the captain, I was the first officer, so that was 77. And then in 78 became a flight engineer for TWA. And got furloughed, and then went to a cargo company called Seaboard World that had professional engineers, so when you got hired, you went directly to the first officer seat, and the 747 was their junior airplane. So I got to, thanks to a very supportive chief pilot, Captain Hirschberg, gave me confidence in me and the airplane, because I'd been told women couldn't do that. Then later I was at People Express, and we got 747s, and I got to be the first woman to be a 747 female captain across the Atlantic, flew to London. Had a wonderful celebration there, met Princess Anne. This
That's so cool.
All in the book.
Yeah.
The books are called Life Takes Wings is the first one, and Life Takes Flight.
And I will link to those in the video as well.
All right.
And so we're flying over Lynn's childhood area where she was born and raised, and just getting to show Lynn the sights from up above. So to rewind a little on Valmeyer and your town here, we're looking off our right wing now at New Valmeyer, but the original town of Valmeyer is actually off our left wing down here in the valley. But just give a quick on what ended up happening out here.
Well, in 1993, the Mississippi took back what had once been hers, and that water, when everything you can see down there was water. The church steeple was about all that you could see.
That is wild.
Yeah, it was something. And so the FEMA helped move the town, 700 people, from down here up on top of the bluff. My dad was the county commissioner at the time and helped make that happen.
So, looking at New Valmeyer here and down in the valley, what are you kind of feeling right now, or what are you thinking? Knowing this is your childhood, and
I mean, it was a wonderful place to grow up. My farm was just about midway between the river, Mississippi River, and these bluffs, and both places were wonderful ways to get away to nature. There's my bluff. There's my limestone cliff where my horse Lucky and I would ride, and then look over this valley and pretend he had wings and we could fly over this, and I could see what the world looked like from up above.
And so, as you got into the airlines, did you ever have any hardship, the males in the captain world?
Yes. Yeah, of course. I don't know how much detail to go into. Some of the guys didn't think we should be there. I mean, everything from, we're taking a man's job, taking the food out of his family's mouth. No man's going to want to marry a pilot. Nobody's going to want to take you home to visit their family. You're just ruining your life. Why do you want to cause trouble? Now, once I found out about the WASP, the women that flew in World War II that these guys had to have known about, I got more upset. I mean, they had to know women were flying big airplanes then and were very competent.
Sure.
In fact, those women had to fly whatever they were handed to. They didn't get trained in just one plane like the guys did.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I didn't find that out until I was talking to the lady at the Smithsonian when they had my uniform, and she was telling me about this book she was writing about the WASP. And yeah, there were the women that, I don't know, should have gotten way more recognition than me and the women, you know, of my era.
So I grew up with 3 sisters, and I have 2 daughters and a wife. My dad's passed away, my mom's still alive, and so I'm 100% females all around me.
You and the girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
When women win, you know, it's always a really uplifting story, and I think that's really neat about what you did. Yeah, and to your childhood, you kind of early on had this sense that you wanted to do something bigger and better or more life rewarding, and you'd spend a lot of time outside with your horse, you know, in nature. Just talk about not running the path that you were sort of told you were supposed to run.
Well, okay, I have to give my grandma a little bit of credit too.
Yeah, no problem.
So she was always up before dawn, down working in the garden, and I loved being out there helping her do whatever she was going to do. And like many farms, you canned and put up for the winter everything that was needed, and that was one of her main roles in life. And I just really enjoyed her company, and she mine. I think whenever I'd come home from college, that'd be the first place I'd stop, because she'd always have a sincere, you know, how are you? And want a sincere answer and have a good conversation.
Right.
Which wasn't always the case once I got all the way to home, where my 2 sisters and brother, and there was more family chaos going on.
And what river are we flying over right now?
Well, this is the Mississippi.
This is the Mississippi, okay, got it.
And yeah, so if you can imagine this going all the way over to there.
All the way to the bluffs, to pretty much where you can see the woods. That is just insane. So this whole basin flooded out in 1993. And this is all corn crop out here? Yeah,
there's mostly corn. At this point in time of the year, it's always going to be, corn or soybeans.
Okay.
The brown that you see is harvested wheat stubble.
Very cool. Now let's go fly over your house. Where are we?
Oh man.
Is that going to be hard to find? We'll go search around a little. So a couple fun facts too for Lynn. You found out, I think, through a friend who called you, but your name was used on Jeopardy at one point in time?
Yes. Yeah, my son called. I was at dinner, and as Jeopardy goes, it was the answer, and the person had to know the question.
Okay, got it. Do you remember what the question was?
Well, let's see. The answer is 1980, Lynn Rippelmeyer became the first woman to fly this aircraft. And then the answer is, what is a 747?
Got it. Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Good little fun fact. What was your horse's name?
Lucky.
You had 2. You had one when you were 8, and you got another one as you got older, right?
When I was 6, I had a little Shetland pony named Blackie.
Okay.
And then I got Lucky, the horse, a quarter horse that I rode barrels and junior rodeo stuff, pole bending, and that horse's name was Lucky. One thought real fast.
Yeah.
The similarity between the planes and the horse is it's an extension of yourself. Right now, you get to do things that there's no way you can do by yourself, but you're at the controls. This airplane will do what your arms, and your legs, the extension of you makes it do.
Right.
And that's what riding a horse is too. You've got the reins and your legs that give it signals, and it becomes an extension of yourself, and you get to go places and do things that you couldn't do without that animal. So yeah, it was very similar. So this is New Valmeyer, huh?
Yeah. So coming up on New Valmeyer.
Okay, then we got to go that way.
Go back.
Here's a fun, cool thing.
Yes. Shoot.
Have you heard about the? Okay, I'm gonna have to get this right. I hope.
Okay.
7R gene.
7R gene?
Yeah, it's a physical gene in your body.
Oh, okay. No.
They nickname it the wanderlust gene.
Okay.
And so the people who have this gene have a tendency to have wanderlust, to wander, and not only physically but mentally, go outside the box. Try things that haven't been tried before and see it as normal. And about 20% less of the population have this.
So you and I have that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And then, where I read about it was a lady that does scuba dive, dark cave underwater scuba diving, which
Okay.
there's just no way I would ever. But
I'm not into the diving thing either.
No.
I grew up surfing it in the water, but I don't need to be underneath it.
no, and definitely not in a dark cave where you don't know.
No.
And going through little tight spots where you might get
No.
stuck.
Yeah, and you had an incident once where you kind of almost got stuck, right?
Yeah, I guess that came up.
Okay, let's just talk about that real quick.
Okay, so at one point, being a flight attendant, went down to help a girlfriend, a roommate in Antigua, British West Indies, working on a crew boat, and the guy next to us, Ted, was there by himself. He was from Vermont, so he would join us for dinner, and we would help him out. We all helped with. There's so much maintenance on boats like that.
Right.
So he came down with pre-prepared little tins of marijuana that had been sealed and painted with rust prevention paint. So what Ted wants us to do is help him hide these tins and make a map so that he can hand out maps to his friends, and they can go find these, at the end of these treasure maps, they'll find a surprise, which will be this marijuana.
Yeah, and what years was this?
73.
Oh, that's so fun.
74. And, okay, if we see a road, oh, okay, see that road? Follow that road behind us, I
Okay,
think.
turning around?
Yep, I
Turning
think.
around.
See if that road goes, see where that road goes.
So I'm trying to remember
Okay.
where we were. Was it over here by the silos, kind of before it? Was that your field that you said was mowed?
That's my grandfather's.
Okay.
So down, okay, it's right,
Oh, we're right under
it's
us?
right, it's right under it.
Oh, I'm gonna get in a better position.
We found
here.
it, we
We
found it.
found your house.
Okay, so that's my grandpa Rippelmeyer's.
Okay, we're
That's
gonna-
my grandma Niebrick's.
We're gonna come around this one, and then we'll go back around your house. And this was all your farmland, or still is all your farmland underneath us, am I
Correct,
correct?
yes.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that, a big giant L cut out of the corn for you, Lynn. All right.
Yeah. And that kind of brown spot?
Yeah.
That was the garden.
That's cool.
That's how big the garden was.
That's how big my wife wants our garden to be, and we don't have a garden.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, we living in the mountains, we have about a 2-month season to try to get any crops going.
And that barn is where we had cattle. We always had about 50 head of cattle. Feeder cattle, they called them. We didn't raise them, but I mean, they weren't born there. They fed them and then took them to market.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And at the time, and then that old barn that's in the back was the farrowing barn, which meant that when the pigs got pregnant, that's where you took them and they had the babies. And I just loved going in and,
Oh, I'm sure.
playing. I mean, the closest I ever came to playing with dolls was having a baby carriage and putting a baby pig in it.
Oh, I love that.
And dressing it up and taking care of it. And we'd always find feral kittens. Didn't have a house cat, but we had tons of cats that did work in the barns, keeping the rats down, and we'd go find the kittens and try to tame them, and it was just a fun way to grow up.
Very cool.
Well, how cool. Thank you for the opportunity to come full circle, literally come full circle and come back to where it all began and be able to see I don't know, where the dream started.
Yeah, it's really awesome and super special to take you up flying in this area. I mean, one, it's new for me. I always love new views. That's why I love to fly. And the backseat story things just really make flying for me gratifying. It feels really good. It's fun to see the reactions on people's faces when you take them up. What I keep looking at here, though, is every single one of these properties is a landing strip. And there's not one that if somebody decided they want to donate to me, I would pick up in a heartbeat and maintain. Cool. Well, it's great to have you up, Lynn, and fun to fly you around. Hopefully it was exciting to see the countryside. And
I don't know if you couldn't see, but I don't think smile has been on my face the entire time. So,
I love that.
Yes, I'm just, the world just looks right to me from up here.
Yes.
I can't explain that, but this is just, it feels like home up here and down there. It's hard to top this kind of fun. This is just
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I love
enjoyed it.
this. I love this, and if I can be up with somebody who loves it and just can enjoy it, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, enjoying it's an understatement. It's just, I feel like we're landing right in the cornfield.
I think we generally did.
Yep.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yep, that was